Keith?
There's been...
What's wrong? Where's Marcia?
She's taking a shower.
Why aren't you dressed?
My clothes are in the wash.
Keith, put this on. Hello, Eleanor.
Marcia?
The master bedroom. Just go look.
Just let me handle it.
Don't you think you've handled things enough, Keith?
You wouldn't lay this at my door.
Are you serious?
Have you called an ambulance?
He seems a little dead for that.
What about the police?
We called you. Given the man died in our house, we were nervous about becoming suspects, so we notified our attorney.
So the police haven't been called at all?
Not yet, no.
Do you know who the victim is?
His name is James McNown. He's a business associate of Marcia's.
What happened?
If knowing the truth would prevent you from representing me, Eleanor, you're not getting it.
How are you doing, sweetie?
Okay. Hi, Eleanor.
Hi, Allison. Okay, look, we have to notify the police.
And what do we tell them?
Well,
None of us has any idea how it happened. None of us saw it.
he just showed up in your bed dead?
Yes.
That's not gonna sound very convincing, Keith.
Eleanor, I'm placing myself in your hands now. I'll tell you as much or as little as you want to know. It's up to you. But I don't want to say anything that'll keep you from representing me. So tell me what you want.
You have blood splatterings on you. Go take a shower. I'm gonna call the police in 10 minutes. I don't exactly know.
Did he tell you anything?
Only that I don't want to know. And my educated guess is that he shot him.
Eleanor, take a walk.
Don't let anybody speak to them.
Told your clients are refusing to give any statements.
Choosing not to give statements.
Don't you think it kind of makes them look suspicious?
Well, then, as suspects, they're exercising their constitutional rights to remain.
Eleanor, I can't accept anyone's version of the events if no one gives me one.
I sympathize, Helen. But the burden is on the state to figure out what happened,
And as a
not...
state senator, I would think your client would want to assist the Commonwealth in that burden.
Well, you would be wrong.
You represent the wife and the daughter, too.
That is correct.
No conflict of interest there.
None.
You're not going to let any of them talk to us.
Correct.
How we doing?
Arrest Senator Ellison and take the wife into custody.
Wait a second. You're arresting both?
No, just him.
Then why take her?
As a material witness?
The state, under extraordinary circumstances, can place a witness into custody.
What are your
If
circumstances?
we believe, Your Honor, that Senator Ellison caught his wife in bed with the victim, then shot him.
Yes, what a gifted leap. What are your circumstances for taking Mrs. Ellison into custody?
We think she's concealing evidence that she will destroy if she gets out of custody.
The evidence being...
The victim's semen or DNA evidence that would establish the two were in bed together at the time.
I'm a little confused here. What exactly are you asking for?
We'd like to do a search similar to a rape kit examination to determine...
A vaginal search.
A full body search to look for hairs and fibers.
Helen!
If your client would cooperate, Eleanor, and give us a statement by not doing so...
This is blatant blackmail, Your Honor. She is trying to force my client to testify against her husband or else be violated by a police technician.
Your client is not a suspect.
Fine. Then grant her full immunity, and then we'll consider any search.
Would she agree to testify in exchange for immunity?
I am not making any deals under the threat of coercion, and I might add the state has no authority to do an invasive bodily search. She is the suspect's wife. Spousal privilege...
That privilege goes to testimony. Bodily fluids do not constitute testimony.
Come on! The privacy issues alone...
Are outweighed by the state's interest in solving a homicide, whether or not she's a suspect. Your Honor, if we do not get this evidence tonight, it's gone.
Miss Gamble, are you sure you want this? Because if it comes out this is merely a ploy on your part, this woman can sue you personally for misconduct. You'll lose whatever evidence you might find.
I can't lose evidence I don't have, Your Honor. I want it.
I'm going to allow it.
I appeal it and...
Fine, but I'm not staying the order pending an appeal. And since it's almost midnight...
Hold a little still if you can.
And people wonder if we're becoming a police state.
I'm gonna be all over them on this. I promise you, Marcia.
Mrs. Ellison, if you could just remain still, this really shouldn't hurt.
It shouldn't hurt.
Marcia?
A man was shot in my home. My husband was arrested. And Dr. Fingers is down there with a snorkel. Would you describe this as a painless experience, Eleanor?
Let's just get through this.
Of course, get them issued tonight. Wake the magistrate up if you have to.
Not been given any details as to what happened this evening. The police have issued no statement as of yet, except to confirm that a fatal shooting did take place in the senator's home, occurring sometime this evening. Unconfirmed reports suggest that the senator was in fact home at the time.
Helen, where are we?
The senator is in custody. We have the gun. We're getting the warrants issued to search his house tonight. He had his lawyers there before the police, even. He's not talking, and it's not likely to change.
Mm-hmm. This is Alan Lowe. He just came over from Middlesex.
Hi. Why do I care?
Because he's your backup on this.
Look, I don't need any
I do. The heat on this is already...
Mr. Lowe's reputation is that he has difficulty with the concept of playing backup.
Your first chair, Helen. He gets that. Use him, Helen. Keep me informed.
Don't second guess. Don't even talk. We'll get along just fine. You can start by overseeing the warrants.
Can I ask you why you made an arrest so quickly?
See, you're talking.
I'm not second guessing, I'm just asking.
The only way I could search Mrs. Ellison was to make a showing she's not a suspect. The best way of doing that was to arrest the senator. Anything else?
No.
Great. Warrants.
A cavity search?
She called Judge Finkel.
And did they find anything on her?
I hope not. She took a shower before the police came. The victim wore a condom, so maybe there was nothing. I also had Keith take a shower, so he should be clean.
What do you mean you had Keith shower? You instructed him to take a shower?
Did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Well, I misspoke. I did not direct him to take a shower. He independently decided to. Lay off me, will you? If this was one of your closest friends...
You broke the law.
I told you, Bobby, I misspoke. It was his decision, and I have no affirmative duty to prevent him from bathing if that's what he chose to do.
Eleanor, because this is one of your oldest friends, it makes me nervous. This is a state senator. This case will be under a microscope. If we cross any ethical lines here...
I won't. I won't.
Did you find what you were looking for?
Well, it'll take a little time for them to analyze everything they found, Mrs. Ellison. I just wanted to talk to you for a minute.
I'm represented by counsel, Ms. Gamble.
Yes, but you're not a suspect, so whether you're represented or not...
So this isn't custodial?
Once the examinations are completed, you're free to go, yes.
Does Eleanor Frutt know you're here?
Mrs. Ellison, we all know what happened here. Has your attorney explained to you that your silence could incriminate you?
Gee, no. But as you explain it, it seems I am indeed a suspect of criminal wrongdoing, which makes this interrogation improper, if not illegal.
Okay, well, I guess what I'm trying to say... You probably won't be able to save your husband from his fate, but you may very well hurt yourself and your daughter in the process.
Fine. And should you ever lose your job for violating suspects' Fifth and Sixth Amendment rights, perhaps you could tour as a motivational speaker.
You're being dismissive, Mrs. Ellison. It would be a great error in judgment for you to dismiss me.
Maybe I shot him, Ms. Gamble. There's your statement.
We're told, Jenny, that warrants were issued last night and that Senator Ellison's office is being searched as we speak. The arraignment was scheduled for 9 o'clock. Whether that's been delayed or not... Here they come!
Next matter on the calendar, criminal case number 32723, Commonwealth versus Keith Ellison. Murder in the first degree.
Eleanor Frutt for the defense. Good morning, Your Honor.
Helen Gamble for the Commonwealth, in that this is a first-degree homicide, we ask that Senator Ellison be held without bail.
My client has no previous criminal record. He has strong and extensive roots in the community. He is, in fact, a trusted government official who poses neither a safety nor flight risk.
The defendant is being charged with a brutal homicide. The fact that he is a state senator should afford him no special consideration.
We are not asking for favors. In fact, just the opposite, that he be treated the
$1
same...
$1 million bond, $250,000 cash.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would also move for an immediate trial.
The prosecution needs time to develop its case.
An arrest has been made here. If the prosecution doesn't have a case...
I would appreciate it if counsel could refrain from posturing.
What are you looking for?
December.
They're looking to buy time, Your Honor.
I'd also appreciate it if defense counsel could limit herself to representing the defendant and not the Commonwealth's intentions.
Trial date of September 24th. Let's conference tomorrow, set up a schedule. For now, we're adjourned.
Your Honor, I'm loath to turn this into an unnecessary street fight,
but
but
yeah, she's so adverse to confrontation.
I believe counsel, in her zealous efforts to provide legal representation to the defendant, is guilty of witness tampering or worse, obstruction of justice.
What?
We have been unable to interview key witnesses to this crime, people present at the scene who have been instructed by Miss Frutt not to talk to either police
Miss
or...
Gamble is now attempting to try her case in the press and contaminate a potential jury pool.
I am attempting to cut through a cover-up orchestrated by counsel.
The district attorney anticipates not being able to mount much of a prosecution, so she's trying to establish the perception that it's our fault she can't assemble evidence.
Defense counsel is again trying to represent my thoughts
Your
instead
thoughts are transparent enough for everyone.
All right, Ms. Gamble, you will not be using my courtroom to color public opinion.
I'm not doing that, Your Honor.
Who are the witnesses?
Mrs. Ellison and Allison Ellison, the defendant's daughter.
Mrs. Ellison certainly enjoys spousal privilege, Your Honor.
What about the daughter?
We can't even get in a room with her.
Miss Frutt, if I get wind of tampering...
I'm not doing that, Your Honor.
Is that right? Do these people have separate counsel?
I am the family attorney.
Oh, you're the family attorney. Did you tell the wife and daughter they could face accessory charges? Did you advise them it might be in their best interest to cooperate with the police?
Any and all communications between me and my clients is, of course, privileged, Your Honor.
Mrs. Ellison and Allison, I strongly advise both of you get your own lawyers here. I won't order it for now, but Ms. Frutt may want to silence you for the defendant's sake, and it may not be what's best for you. In the meantime, Ms. Frutt, I am ordering that you make Allison available to the district attorney for an interview. If she refuses to talk, she can be subpoenaed to a grand jury. That's all for now. We're adjourned.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'd like security to escort Allison to my office immediately.
Why?
I have concerns that counsel might seek to prepare her statement.
I object to that.
I would submit if there are no plans to conference with Miss Ellison, what's the harm?
Miss Ellison is also a client, and since criminal charges may possibly be levied against her, I have the right to advise.
Security will escort Miss Ellison to Miss Gamble's office. Defense counsel, but not the defendant, may be present at the interview. We're adjourned.
Do you have any idea what she's gonna say? Don't let the media get anywhere near him.
Jimmy, you take the neighborhood, see if anybody heard or saw anything. I'll interview the employees at Mrs. Ellison's job. Lucy, you stay on top of the incident reports. Lindsay, you're in charge of jury consultants. Hire them today. Beck, I need you to research temporary insanity, heat of passion.
Research? Why do I always get research?
Rebecca.
You always put me on research. Why can't I ever do field work?
Because Jimmy and I are better at it. Sorry if that answer disappoints you.
Are we sticking everybody on this one case?
Yes, we are, Lindsay, because like it or not, we will be defined by this one case. We will be the firm that either won it or didn't win it. It would be nice to be the firm that won it. Everybody's got a role. Let's go.
We had just come home from the movies. Our movie was sold out, actually, so we had come home early.
You and your dad?
Yes.
Then what did you do?
I just went to my room. I think I might have gone to the bathroom first, and then I was getting ready to call a friend. And then I heard some screaming and yelling.
Did you recognize the voices? Did you recognize the voices, Allison?
No.
Okay. Then what happened?
After a few seconds, I heard a loud popping sound. And more screaming. I ran down the hall into my parents' bedroom. My mother and father were screaming about something. My mother was crying. They just kept on screaming at each other. And then I looked over and saw there was a man in their bed. He wasn't moving, and he was bleeding. And his eyes were open.
Did you hear what your mother and father were screaming about?
No,
Did you see blood on your father's clothes?
I don't remember.
Did you notice if there was a gun around?
I didn't see any gun.
Allison, what do you think happened?
I don't know.
If you had to guess.
She doesn't have to make guesses.
You were allowed to be present for this interview. You were not permitted to either conduct it
I will
or to
advise
inhibit
my
it.
client to tell what she knows and not to formulate opinions.
You want to go right back in front of that judge?
Fine.
Hold on. Why don't you just ask your questions?
Yes, that would be nice. Did you ever ask your parents what happened?
No.
Did you know what happened?
No.
You didn't know what had happened and you didn't ask.
Correct.
Allison, did you have any discussions with your attorneys about what you might say here at this meeting?
Don't answer. Privilege, work product, forget it.
We're into tampering,
You
Bobby.
think you can make tampering? Try. But don't be asking our client about conversations she had with us.
So you had a conversation in preparation for this meeting.
Don't answer.
Whether or not the conversation was had does not
I'm
fall
instructing
within the
my client not to answer.
I've told you all I know.
You've told us all you know, Allison.
Yes. I heard a pop and yelling. That's it.
And you never asked your parents what happened here.
No. I didn't.
We have no new information to share with you at this time.
Has Senator Ellison made any kind of statement?
Senator Ellison is currently refusing to speak with us at the advice of his attorney.
Mr. Lowe, one more question.
Get that out of my face, please.
What about Mrs. Ellison?
Mrs. Ellison is also refusing to cooperate, which we find frustrating. Certainly, it's every defendant's right not to speak, and that right would inure to the spouse as well, but we're particularly disappointed when a state senator, a person ostensibly committed to justice, forsakes that commitment out of self-interest.
That's misconduct.
Let's get it in before Judge Finkel. Shut them down.
Whoa, slow down.
He cannot comment on a defendant's silence. The state bar...
Eleanor?
He's deliberately contaminating the jury pool.
Of course he is, but if we go to Judge Finkel, he might gag all of us. We do not want that.
Why not? If he's going to try their case in the press...
Because we need the press more than they do. Now, we all know how it looks. We need to shape public opinion here. If we get gagged...
Why aren't we at least putting out some version?
We don't need to. The burden is on them.
Our people were there. The prosecution can prove they were there. To me, that shifts the burden to us.
I agree.
I don't. We got 3 possible suspects here. The senator, his wife, or the daughter. The prosecution can't nail any of them beyond a reasonable doubt.
Oh, please, he's convicted now.
You're just mad over doing research.
Oh, that's funny.
All right.
We're up against Helen Gamble here and Alan Lowe.
We've beaten Helen many times, Lindsay.
If they prove this affair, that gives them motive. With motive, his being at the scene, his gun, he's gone. We need to start building a theory and put it out there. The more we wait...
Look, let's just see what their evidence file shows. It's too soon for us to commit to anything.
Bobby, hello?
Public opinion can't send him to prison, Lindsay.
Are you sure? For this one?
Is it good news?
Sort of. Ballistics confirm it was his gun.
Prints?
Wiped clean.
Trace metal?
Negative. There was a pair of dishwashing gloves soaking in the sink.
What about powder burns or primer residues?
No, but they could have washed off if...
Anything to prove the affair?
Not yet. No semen, nothing from the cavity search. No blood on her, but she showered, so...
What about hairs in the bed?
Some, but they could be old. It's early, Helen. Give us time.
Interview everybody at her work. Somebody had to have seen the two together.
They'll never prove it. No one ever saw us.
You can be sure of that.
He always left before me. He had his own set of keys to my car. He'd get in, duck down. I'd come down, drive home directly into my garage. No one ever saw him go into my house.
Suppose somebody saw him get into your car.
He always made sure that never happened.
Okay, look. Ordinarily, we would just sit back and do nothing here. We would leave the burden to the prosecution to prove the crime. The problem, this case is so high profile that there's an enormous danger of jury contamination. We want you to tell us what happened.
Isn't that dangerous?
If it means you having to get other lawyers...
No.
Keith?
No! I want your firm.
Senator, the likelihood is that they will be able to prove your wife's affair with the victim. With that, with your gun being the murder weapon, with you being at the scene, with your clothes being in the washer, you'll be convicted, Senator. If you tell us what happened, you might give us something to go with.
Keith, you said you were putting yourself in my hands. As your lawyer, as your friend, I am advising you to tell us what happened.
The movie was sold out. So Allison and I came home early. Allison, I guess, went off to her room and I went upstairs. And I heard sounds coming from our bedroom. I heard a male voice. And I thought I could only think that maybe Marcia was being raped or attacked. And I got my revolver from the safe in the back of the linen cupboard and I went to the bedroom. And I saw this stranger on her and I squeezed the trigger. And suddenly, Marcia was screaming. There was blood everywhere. It all happened so fast, and I saw this man and I shot him. I didn't realize until after what had really been going on.
The problem with that? The gun was wiped clean of prints. Your clothes were in the washer. And the question will be, if you thought you were justified, why did you try to cover your tracks?
I did that. It was stupid, I suppose, but he's worked his entire adult life building his public career. And I didn't want to see it all go away because of something that I caused.
I assume you will testify that from your vantage point, it appeared he was acting in defense of you.
Of course.
Well, then that's how we proceed. We argue mistaken defense of others. It's a form of self-defense.
I'd like to make a public statement.
I don't recommend that.
You said yourself that they were trying this in the press.
Anything you say could be used to impeach you.
I'll keep it short.
It's a bad idea.
It's a great idea. I mean, you can certainly go over what he plans
What
to
if
say.
he ad-libs the wrong thing?
You make sure he doesn't. Bobby, his going before the cameras, it goes to the same jury pool the prosecution is trying to influence right now. And if he talks, more cameras will be rolling.
Why aren't we going for a change of venue, if you ask me?
We want this venue, Rebecca. He's a celebrity here, a popular one.
Well, if he goes forward with a statement now, you're married to self-defense. You can't then go on the elements.
Does anybody here really believe we've got a shot on the elements? I mean, his house, his gun, he's at the scene, and they can probably prove the affair. Self-defense is our best hope, and best we start working the jury now.
I'm with Eugene. Let the man talk.
So far, it's like the Immaculate Affair, although we do have one witness willing to say she saw something going on at a party. It's nothing I'd call concrete, but...
Nobody saw them go into a motel?
Kenny, this woman's prepping to be the First Lady of Massachusetts. She was careful.
You know about this press conference?
Excuse me?
He's called for a press conference. He's going on.
Who?
I should first note, I appear before you today against the advice of my counsel, who you see behind me. For purposes of a criminal trial, it's best to remain silent, a fact I know you are acutely aware of. But being in public office, I enjoy a public trust, and that trust cannot faithfully be served or honored by my continued silence. And thus, I feel it is my duty to come forward because the public has a right to know. On Saturday, July 12th, I left in the early evening to go see a movie with my daughter Allison. The film being sold out, we returned early.
You believe this?
Shh. When I heard the sounds, it sounded like a physical attack. It even sounded like somebody was being strangled. I retrieved my revolver, which I kept in the house for personal protection, and I ran to the room in fear, desperate fear, that my wife Marcia was either being raped or worse, murdered. When I entered the room, I saw what appeared to be a struggle with a strange man on top of my wife. I thought she was being killed. As he rolled to face me, I discharged my revolver. The bullet hit him, and he fell silent. It was only in the following seconds that I came to realize what was actually going on. My wife was not, in fact, under attack. The passion I mistook for rage for a deadly threat was a different kind of passion. A passion a husband never wants to think his wife. I shot a man who was committing adultery, not a man who was trying to kill. I didn't realize this until it was obviously too late. Though I will have to live with the fact that I took another human life, it is something I will never get over. In my mind, I saw a potentially deadly threat of violence against my wife. I accept responsibility. I ask for no one's forgiveness, only your understanding. Thank you.
The fact that Senator Ellison would refuse to talk to the police, would refuse to cooperate with our investigation, only to go before the cameras with a self-serving ramble overtly designed to poison the objectivity of the people he was elected to represent, I found that to be inconceivable. I found it personally disgusting.
Did you know he'd be claiming self-defense?
You know, we expected something desperate, and that is exactly what this is. It's an anemic Hail Mary from a guilty murderer. Why was the gun wiped clean of fingerprints? Why were his clothes thrown in a washer? Was this obstruction of justice in service to his public trust? Who exactly did he honor by trying to cover all of this up? Well, let me tell you this. As a district attorney, I have a duty to the public trust as well. And that's to see that when people kill human beings, they go to prison. There's no exceptions for politicians. No excuses for wronged husbands. No favors for eloquent speakers. You kill, you go to jail. And that is what will happen here.
It was mainly a feeling. Never heard or saw any actual proof.
And the feeling was...
They were involved. They would shoot each other looks sometimes. Flirty behavior. I just assumed something was going on between them.
How well did you know Mrs. Ellison?
Not well. We worked in the same office, obviously, but I had very little direct interaction.
And the victim, Mr. McNown?
He was my boss.
And this party, Mrs. Ellison came with Mr. McNown?
Oh, God, no. She came with her husband. But I saw them in an office together.
Mr. McNown and Mrs. Ellison?
And it looked like something was going on between them. I just know it.
So what? It's not enough that we established the affair now. We have to show he knew about it. If we can prove he knew what was going on, there's no way they'll sell self-defense. Husbands know. They always know.
Well, we haven't been able to find any...
Then get back out there, Mike. Dig harder.
All right, Helen. Mike, this is a big piece. If we can show that he was even suspicious that his wife was sleeping around, we'll be able to argue that he knew what was going on when he went for the gun.
Look, we're dead. You all do know that. The guy is sympathetic, he's charming, he's credible, and we're dead.
No, we're not. The guy caught a man screwing his wife, he blows the guy's head off, and then he says, oops, I thought he was trying to kill her? We'll get him.
We've got nothing on state of mind, Alan. It's us against his word, and you saw how well he plays. Helen Gamble. Okay. Judge wants to see us.
Should we bother to have a trial here, people? Or just put it to a referendum on the November ballot? I would gag you all right now if I didn't think you'd both immediately start with confidential sourcing. Miss Frutt, you let your client hold press conferences, you will have a hard time disqualifying jurors for knowing too much. Ms. Gamble, attempt to prejudice the trial, you will find your jury challenges gone. I will prohibit you right now from making any comments concerning the evidence of this case. That goes for every one of you. Now, common sense tells me this goes away for manslaughter. 6 years, 3 suspended.
That seems a little light.
You jump at it, don't kid yourself, and so should you. The idea he thought she was being killed smells like crap. This was a heat of passion murder. Let's dispose of it for what it is.
Are you recommending it?
With good behavior, you could get out in 18 months.
Isn't that a bargain for human life-taking?
Can I win this?
You could, but it's a risk, Keith. And if we lose, you are looking at murder 2, which carries a statutory life sentence.
I just told the public it was self-defense. If I plead on manslaughter, how would that look?
I think the public is sophisticated enough to know.
And they believe me, by the way. Have you heard the HDH poll? My approval ratings are higher than before the shooting.
Well, then it was all worth it.
Do we have a problem?
Do we have a problem? Eleanor, I was having an affair. I was fond of this person, and Keith shot him. Clearly, these are not the best of times.
I don't want to plead.
You can't be looking at this with respect to your political career. This is about your life, Keith, your freedom.
My life is my political career, Eleanor. You know that. And it's over if I accept a homicide conviction.
As convincing as you are, to get a jury to believe that you ran in there shooting in self-defense?
You don't believe it?
I do. But I know you. The 12 people in that box?
Are you telling me we cannot win this trial?
I am not telling you that.
And isn't it possible the manslaughter deal could still be available during trial?
That is certainly possible, but...
Then I want to try. Let's see how the trial goes. Then...
If the prosecution's case goes well, this deal will be off the table.
18 months, Keith. You killed a man.
It was mistaken self-defense. The prosecution knows they can't disprove that. That's why the manslaughter is being offered. We go to trial.
You understand the risk.
I do. Let's go to trial.
If you didn't get your courtroom pass 3 weeks ago, and without media credentials, you'd have to know somebody to get one, you won't be sitting in Division 3 in the Suffolk Superior Courthouse. Not today, or any day in the near future. It's not just because it's a murder trial, or that it involves a state senator, or even that 2 of the opposing lawyers are roommates. It's because of that burning question this trial will attempt to answer. The question that this entire city has for 2 months now been asking on every street corner, in every bar room, at every dinner table. What was Senator Ellison really thinking when he fired that gun? Did he believe his wife's life was in danger, or was the shooting an act of vengeance? The prosecution has vowed to put in a short case, the facts not really being in dispute. Every legal analyst agrees the trial will come down to Senator Ellison's testimony and the cross-examination by Helen Gamble, which figures to be extremely tough.
Let's go.
This trial is not about who shot and killed James McNown. The defendant did that. There's no dispute there. This trial is about why he did it. Now, the evidence will show conclusively that the defendant discovered his wife making love to the victim and, in an act of anger and revenge, murdered Mr. McNown. The evidence will show the defendant then sought to cover up his crime, that he either destroyed or tampered with evidence in an attempt to get away with this murder. There's an old saying in the medical profession: when you hear hoofbeats, don't think zebra. Now, this means instead of looking for some exotic, far-fetched diagnosis, just see the obvious. In this trial, ladies and gentlemen, the Commonwealth will only be asking you to see the obvious. The defendant murdered the man sleeping with his wife.
I agree with the district attorney. This trial is simply about why Senator Ellison fatally wounded the stranger in his house. To answer that question, you'll need to get into the head of Senator Ellison. You'll need to imagine coming home late at night and hearing the sounds of a struggle coming from your bedroom. You will need to fathom the panic knowing your spouse was home alone this night. You will have to appreciate the fear that can suddenly consume you at the thought that the person you love is being raped or possibly killed in the next room. Can any of us truly presume to know what that must be like? Have any of us ever had to listen to the sounds of a husband or wife being attacked by an intruder? The evidence will show What happened that night is that Senator Ellison went racing into that room to protect the woman he loved, the mother of his daughter, Allison. He charged in there with a gun in a state of panic, fear, horror to see an intruder on top of his wife, and he fired. Turns out, he got it wrong. It was mistaken self-defense. That will be the evidence because it's the truth. And as you listen to the facts, the testimony, the witnesses, remember, the prosecution's entire case, all of it, the reason we are even here is their presumption they know what was going on in Senator Ellison's mind. Of course that's impossible. Impossible for them to know, impossible for you to know. All the Commonwealth can really do is ask you to imagine. And we will be making that very same request. Imagine.
That's how he looked when we got there.
Who else was there when you arrived, Detective?
The defendant, Mrs. Ellison, the daughter Allison, and the defendant's attorney, Ms. Frutt.
The attorney was there before the police.
That's correct.
Who called the police?
Ms. Frutt.
Was there ever a 911 call placed from the residence?
No, there was not.
After you finally got there, at some point you decided to place the defendant under arrest for murder.
Yes.
Why?
It was a single gunshot wound to the head from a fairly close range, resembling an execution style.
Objection?
Sustained.
The gun was found on the scene. It belonged to the defendant.
Did you check it for fingerprints?
It had been wiped clean of any fingerprints.
Did you subsequently do any tests on the defendant to determine if he had held the gun?
Yes. We did what is known as a trace metal test, which basically indicates whether or not a person has recently held a firearm.
And what were the results of this test?
They were negative.
Well, now I'm confused. Because the defendant subsequently admitted that he had held and fired the gun.
We believe that he either wiped the residue off or he was wearing gloves.
So before he ran to get the gun, he first ran to go put on a pair of gloves.
Objection, speculation.
Overruled. He can state his opinion.
We think he was going to hide his ID as the shooter, then change his mind and went to self-defense.
When you arrived, Detective, how was the defendant dressed?
He was showered, wearing freshly laundered clothes. The clothes he had previously been seen in were in the washing machine.
The washing machine? Was that on when you arrived?
No, but judging from the heat on the surface of the machine, we determined that it had been on within the previous 40 minutes.
So, after the shooting, the defendant did a load of laundry.
Seems so.
After a shooting at this range, it's likely there would be some blood splattered on Senator Ellison. Isn't that right, Detective?
Yes.
Isn't it also likely, Detective, that a person might not want to stand around in bloody clothes?
That's possible.
And if one were to take off bloody clothes, what would one likely do with them? Fold them up, put them back in the drawer?
Objection.
Withdrawn. It's your testimony, Detective, that because my client washed his clothes, that made him suspicious.
Yes. It's one thing
You answered the question, thank you. You also testified that he'd taken a shower.
Which I also found suspicious.
Preposterous to think that a person splattered with blood might want to wash himself?
I found it a little preposterous that he would shower and do laundry before even calling the police, yes.
Oh, you know he did those things before Miss Frutt called the police?
I know he did them before we arrived.
That wasn't your statement, Detective. Your conclusion was he did them before you were called. Can you state that to a conclusion, Detective?
No.
So this was a conclusion you just leapt to?
No.
You just took the evidence found and made it fit with your theory.
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Ever known it to be the case, Detective, where one holds the gun, shoots it even, and the trace metal test comes up negative?
Very unlikely.
Ever known it to happen, Detective?
Yes.
And if one were to take a shower, Detective, would that make it more or less likely for the trace metal test to come up negative?
Washing the hands doesn't
My question, Detective, is would showering make it more or less likely for the trace metal test to come up negative?
I would say more likely, but...
So it's likely my client didn't wear gloves like you think.
That's possible.
Thank you, Detective.
I thought you crossed him well.
We still got to deal with no fingerprints. Why the gun was wiped clean.
Marcia covers that in her testimony.
That was a weak opening for the prosecution. I'm surprised they led with that.
What else have they got?
Who's next?
Jason Perlmutter, former aide to the senator.
I'm ready for him. What did the consultant say?
McGuire did come off credible, and phoning the lawyers before calling the police didn't go over well. They thought you were a little aggressive.
What else?
That's basically it. They thought you did a good job poking holes, but McGuire still seemed reasonable, and ultimately they believed him.
You got to take care of Perlmutter.
Something was bothering him the whole week.
The week before the shooting?
Yes. Senator Ellison is typically a very affable person and rather easygoing for somebody with the stress of his kind of work. But in the days before the shooting, something was troubling him.
How are you in a position to notice all this, Mr. Perlmutter?
I was his aide. I was typically with him 12 hours a day.
Did you ask him what was wrong?
Objection, hearsay?
Declaration against interest.
I'll allow it.
Did you ask him, sir?
Yes, he indicated it was stuff at home.
And you took that to mean?
Problems with his marriage.
How did you come to take it that way?
Well, he would indicate that he and his wife would go through bouts of estrangement. And after working for him for 11 years, I developed a pretty good barometer for detecting when things weren't going well.
And the days before the shooting, this was one of those times, in your opinion?
Yes.
Are you a psychologist?
No.
Did Senator Ellison tell you he was having troubles with his wife?
No, not specifically.
But you have a barometer.
He said stuff at home.
And you just took that to mean problems with the wife?
I had also seen them together many times, Ms. Frutt, and witnessed the estrangement.
He has a daughter, Allison. Did you know that?
Of course.
Did you know that she was arrested for possession of marijuana last year?
No.
So, stuff at home goes on that you don't know about. Isn't that right, Mr. Perlmutter?
I never laid claim to knowing everything that goes on in his household, of course not.
So, when Senator Ellison said stuff at home, you were only guessing that it involved his wife, weren't you, sir?
Again, after 11 years of working with the man...
You've got that barometer.
Objection?
Sustained.
Nothing further.
You're in some trouble.
Why?
Well, you're asking them to believe he shot a man by mistake who just happened to be sleeping with his wife at the time.
Which is what happened.
Maybe so, but for the jury to believe it, everything has to be going our way. With the suggestion of marital troubles, it just makes it a little hard to believe that Keith didn't have some inkling of what was going on.
Is that what the consultants think?
It's what I think.
Who's up next?
Candace Levy. She's just to help establish the affair, which since nobody's arguing, I don't know why they're still bothering to call her.
They're calling her to set the idea. The more people who knew about it, the more likely the senator knew about it.
Well, there's nothing she can say that will really hurt us. And besides, she's the only one who seemed to know about it.
Who's after that?
They still might call Allison to establish a time frame.
She's not going to give them any help. They won't dare call her.
It might be worth calling her.
Why?
Well, it was so obvious before that she was lying to protect her father. If it's that obvious to a jury, it's got to work in our favor. Yeah, all we got to do is catch him in one lie, even if it's the daughter's.
No, Helen. They're planning to call her. That means they prepped her for cross. It's too dangerous. Are you ready with Levy?
Yes. You hear what they're calling us on the news? The STEAM team?
Why's that?
I don't know. Maybe because they think I'm hot and steamy, and you, because you're sitting next to me.
Must be it. You like being on the news, huh?
If it gets me noticed by some rich admirer who whisks me off to Fiji to lick caviar off my thighs, I can't beat that.
You ever notice how in a big trial, any place far off seems pretty good?
Think we'll get him?
I hope so. I keep hearing that press conference in my head. The man is good.
All in all, it wasn't a terribly powerful day for the prosecution, but the consensus is It didn't need to be. Though technically the burden is on the state, most experts feel that burden has really shifted to the defense in this case.
I'm getting a bad feeling, Bobby. Anything on the table?
No. We haven't even put in our case yet.
Our case? Well, a big part of it is Marsha's unflinching support, which isn't so great.
She'll say what she needs to say.
I got a bad feeling.
It was an office party in honor of one of the vice presidents who was retiring. Mr. McNown was there, so was Mr. Ellison with his wife.
What's your position, Miss Levy?
I'm the head of accounting.
And who was your direct superior?
It was Mr. McNown. He was chief financial officer.
Did you know Mrs. Ellison?
Yes, she also works at Reynolds. I never dealt directly with her.
Miss Levy, calling your attention to the night of the office party in July, did you have occasion to observe either Mr. McNown or Mrs. Ellison?
Yes, I observed them both when they sort of darted into his office.
They darted?
Well, they went in rather quickly.
What did you see next?
Well, I didn't exactly see anything, but I'm ashamed to admit I did a little eavesdropping by the door.
Any particular reason you would do that?
Well, I suspected there was something going on between them.
Why?
Just body language when they interacted. I could tell.
Now, while you were doing your eavesdropping by the door, what, if anything, did you hear?
Not too much, because the party was rather loud. But I could hear she was angry. And I heard her say, "It has to stop." And she sounded angry.
Did you hear anything else?
No, that was all I heard. A few seconds later, she kind of huffed out, and I looked in. He seemed very upset.
Miss Levy, did you ever have the opportunity to hear any conversation between Mr. McNown and the defendant?
Yes, that same night.
At the party?
Yes. After Mrs. Ellison left Mr. McNown's office, about a minute later, I saw him go in.
The defendant?
Yes.
Did you hear what, if anything, was said?
The senator was also very upset, and I heard him say something like, "I will not be humiliated." He said it twice. "I will not let myself be humiliated." Those were his words.
Then what?
He stormed out.
Miss Levy, are you positive that this was July 10th, 2 days before the shooting?
Absolutely positive.
Thank you, Miss Levy. Nothing further.
Miss Levy, you and I had a conversation about the events at this party, did we not?
Yes.
I asked you if you had any reason to suspect a romantic relationship between Mrs. Ellison and Mr. McNown.
Yes, you did.
You told me all about how Mrs. Ellison went into Mr. McNown's office.
That's correct. Same as I've said here.
Yes. Well, did you ever tell me you saw the defendant go into Mr. McNown's office?
I don't believe I did.
Why is that, Miss Levy?
You didn't ask.
It's unfair surprise. That testimony...
It is an unfair surprise. She was on their list.
Not to say that, she didn't.
It isn't unfair surprise. It was a screw-up, and it was yours, Jimmy. How could you miss...
Hey, she's lying. They put her up there to lie.
Was she lying, Keith? You knew. You knew about the affair. So you murdered him.
Eleanor.
I am talking to the client.
I'm not interested in what the client has to say. If we plan to keep going with self-defense, you're not interested in anything the client has to say. Are we clear?
Can you see if they're still willing to plea?
I don't want to plea. I can't.
Keith, they've got you. Can't
If I plead out after that testimony, I'm guilty to the
Are you
world.
still worried about becoming governor? You can't
That
be
woman doesn't know what
serious.
she heard. She can't be sure.
Don't be an idiot.
There's still
you are
reasonable
guilty
doubt.
in
The
everybody's
prosecution has
eyes.
to say you're the...
Your mind
Shut up!
All right, look. There's not going to be any plea offer from the prosecution at this point. Our only course is to proceed with self-defense. We argue that the woman heard it wrong. It was a loud party, she had certain predispositions, and she heard what she wanted to hear. You will have to account for what she thinks she heard in your testimony. Your testimony stays the same. You will go up first to describe your father's calm, pleasant demeanor as he came home that night. We tell the truth. This is not over. It will be if we fall apart. I'll check with the clerk to see when we go back.
Obviously, this was a devastating setback for the defense. If Senator Ellison, in fact, knew of the affair, he's hard-pressed to convince the jury he thought his wife was under attack when he went running in with the revolver.
You've been watching this
Just shut it
unfold.
off, would you,
Is there any
please?
sense in the court?
I know this is out there, but is there any precedent set for changing the plea to insanity this late in the game?
No. The judge would never allow it. Where's Jimmy?
Conference room.
Eleanor. I know you're dejected, but the jury cannot see the face I'm looking at right now. Remember his press conference? If he's great on the stand, who knows? One more thing. This may not be the time, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't ever want to hear you attack a member of this law firm in front of a client again. Never mind the disrespect to Jimmy. We don't need to be inviting malpractice claims. Mistakes happen, Jimmy. No point in dwelling on it, other than to make sure it doesn't happen again.
We have an extremely difficult decision here. We need you to listen to us and consider this carefully. Your fate is obviously in your hands now. For your testimony, you can maintain self-defense. For anybody else, I would consider that ludicrous, but you have a gift when it comes to persuasion. Personally, I think it's rabbit out of the hat time. But juries are loath to convict celebrities sometimes. Now, there is an alternative.
Which is?
You could do a big mea culpa, admit that you acted in a fit of rage.
And what would be the purpose of that?
I think the jury might believe it, and you'd have a shot at manslaughter. If you stick to a story the jury perceives to be a lie, our fear is they would hit you with murder one.
The difference is 6 years versus life without parole.
Those are not choices, Eleanor.
You didn't leave us with many, Keith.
You people have pulled miracles before.
Not when...
I can't go before the public and say I lied.
Keith, we're not talking about re-election anymore.
I want my miracle.
It's not coming, Keith. Now tell us what you want to do.
I'm going to take the stand. And I'm going to testify that I acted in self-defense.
You're going to go to prison.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You remember how we used to talk Shakespeare? Who our favorite tragic heroes were?
You're about to tell me I've become your favorite tragic hero.
Our friendship kinda waned a little, Keith. I became a blight, the unseemly defense attorney who represents rapists and murderers. Not great photo ops to be seen hanging around with me. I got it, Keith.
It isn't true.
Yes, it is. But nevertheless, you came to me, Keith. Because for somebody charged with murder, there is no better friend in the world to have than me and my firm. You need to listen to the expertise you hired. If you stick with self-defense, it is my belief you will lose.
If I tell them I lied, Eleanor, everything I worked for, it's over.
Keith, you have a daughter you love, a wife.
Who will leave me as soon as the trial ends. We both know that. And she'll try to take Allison with her.
I can't win this.
Yes, you can. All we need is one juror. People love me, Eleanor. They love me.
Brett, what's your new product?
I've got no comment. Excuse me. I've got no comment. Get away from me!
Give him room. Let's go. Come on, give him room. Let's go.
What happened?
He's digging in.
Okay. We call Allison up and down, and then we call Marcia. Are you okay to do this?
I'm fine.
Eleanor, I'm sorry.
Jimmy, it's not your fault.
Come on, we gotta get in.
How would you describe your relationship with your dad?
Extremely close.
Extremely close. Were you aware of any marital problems between him and your mom?
They had fights. They would have difficult times and things would improve.
Was that difficult on you?
Sometimes.
Did you ever talk about it with your father?
Yes.
Did he ever talk about what he thought were the problems between your mother and him?
Yes.
Did he ever reveal an awareness to you about your mother's affair with Mr. McNown?
Never.
Now, Allison, given your relationship with your father, do you think he would have told you about this affair?
I do.
Do you have an opinion as to whether he knew about this affair?
My opinion is that he did not.
Calling your attention to the night of the shooting, could you please tell us what happened from your perspective?
Well, the movie we'd gone to see was sold out. So we came back home. We came into the house. Dad went to the family room. I headed upstairs. And that's when I heard them.
Heard who?
My mother. And Mr. McNown.
You heard them?
They were in her bed, doing what they usually did when Dad and I were out of the house.
Wait a second, you knew it was Mr. McNown?
My father didn't know about the affair, but I certainly did.
Well, when you heard them that night, you didn't tell your father?
No.
You just went back to your room?
Eventually.
Eventually?
First, I got the gun, and I shot Mr. McNown.
Your Honor.
Chambers!
I had no idea she was going to say that. None of us.
I don't believe it for a second.
Let me talk here. Did she ever suggest to you she was the shooter?
No.
She just lied to get her father off.
Mr. Lowe, let me conduct this session, please.
Your Honor, none of us saw this coming.
She previously had given a statement that she went to her room and she heard the shots. This was blatant perjury.
Maybe it was. But your only remedy for this trial is a rigorous cross, Miss Gamble. What else can we do?
I'll make a deal with her right now. I'll drop all perjury charges in exchange for admitting her lie. She's got an out.
Well, even if she were to agree to that, I'm not sure it's in the senator's interests.
Which is why you shouldn't be representing the daughter as well as...
I don't disagree with that either at this point. But the fact is I am, and we have a situation.
The situation is you have an ethical obligation to take the offer to your client. We dropped the perjury in exchange for her recanting. Otherwise, she's going to be taken from that courtroom into custody.
Not in front of the jury, she's not.
There's no
Any
statutory
prejudice-
minimum, Bobby. She could get 20 years.
That's enough. You have an offer to take to the girl. If she refuses, your recourse is to try to impeach her on the stand and then arrest her post-verdict. You, and you. I want your bar cards by the end of the day.
Excuse me?
I'll hold them in escrow. If it turns out what just happened in there was one of those stunts you people have become infamous for, you will lose them forever. That's my promise.
You have just committed a very serious offense.
What? Telling the truth under oath?
Oh, that's the truth? That's...
Eleanor. I'm willing to plead guilty.
You want to plead guilty now?
Make the deal.
Senator, right now, you actually have a shot at acquittal. You
Just
want to
do it. I'm not going to let my daughter take the fall.
Can I talk?
No. I think you've talked enough for one day, Allison.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I probably just gave you reasonable doubt.
You also confessed, Allison. They might try you for murder.
And I'll just say, my confession was a lie to save my father. If he's acquitted, they can't try him again.
He may be safe, but it's a pretty big risk for you. And even if you beat murder, they get you on perjury.
14-year-old girl trying to save her daddy. Something tells me I wouldn't go to jail for too long.
Don't count on it.
Are you really so sure I committed perjury, Mr. Donnell?
You're both covering for her.
I want to plead guilty.
Let's take a step back.
I'm the client here. I want to plead guilty, conditioned on nothing happens to Allison. And I get to hold a press conference, not in custody. Those are my terms. Take it to the DA.
Bobby, can you take Allison and Marcia out the back door? I'd like to talk to Keith.
Why?
I just need a second.
Let's go.
If there is anything you are more committed to than your political career, it is your daughter. Is she taking the rap for you? Or have you been taking the fall for her all along?
I instructed you to plead guilty.
Are you going to answer my question?
Make the deal.
Manslaughter?
And no charges brought against the daughter on anything. Plus, he gets to hold a press conference before you take him off.
Excuse me?
He He wants to make a statement.
The question isn't, do you think I'm an idiot? It's how big of an idiot.
Helen.
Bobby, this was your plan all along.
It was not.
If you think I'll allow you to use perjury to bolster your bargaining position...
That was not our plan. And I'm offended by your suggestion.
Get out.
Helen.
I will not entertain any discussion, Bobby.
Helen. You wait outside for a second. I don't like this any more than you do, but the fact is, they've got reasonable doubt.
When I get done crossing her, there's
No, we have no eyewitnesses, another person taking credit for the crime, a very charismatic and persuasive defendant. We're in the crapper. And right now, you're blinded by anger. It sucks. No question, we're having our hand forced by perjury. But the likelihood is that this was manslaughter. He flipped out and he shot the guy, and we would be crazy to walk away from this deal.
We can't risk a straight acquittal. We just can't.
I'm gonna accept it.
It's absolute madness in the corridor. The unconfirmed reports are a plea has been reached.
Do we know what it is?
Nobody calls.
I'm informed now they're in court, and Judge Finkel is, in fact, being presented with the plea, which I'm now being told is a manslaughter conviction.
Defendant will please rise. You understand, Mr. Ellison, that you are pleading guilty to a homicide?
Yes.
And by pleading guilty to manslaughter, you are agreeing not to appeal and that you will serve a sentence not less than 6 years in state prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, you are recommending this agreement to your client? Your client understands the terms and accepts them?
Yes, Your Honor.
Plea is accepted, so ordered by the court. Bailiff, take the defendant into custody.
Your Honor, pursuant to the plea, my client gets to make a statement. The area is set up in the corridor.
Security will escort the defendant to the microphones and then into custody. We are adjourned.
Keith, I've got to know. It's all over now, so just tell me.
I have to make my statement.
We are not at all satisfied with this outcome. We believe this was a second-degree murder, possibly first. We accepted this plea because we fear the perjury committed by the daughter could have severely compromised our case. This is a terrible day. We just made the best deal we could.
I would certainly agree with Ms. Gamble that this is a terrible day. For whatever reason, my daughter, Allison, in a misguided effort to protect her dad, tried to mislead the jury as to what happened that night. What did, in fact, happen was exactly as I have maintained. I thought my wife, Marcia, was under attack, and I was in fear for her life. I only accepted this plea of manslaughter because my conscience cannot permit allowing my daughter to accept any culpability for this act. Did I make a mistake? Absolutely.
Is that true, Marcia?
Maybe I've learned something about gun.
You think you're helping Allison? She's gonna end up as another teenage suicide, and you know it. And if she is the shooter, I am going to eventually prove it.
You represent her.
As of now, I don't.
You're her lawyer.
Not anymore.
You really think if Allison did this, I'd stay quiet?
I don't know. You might not want her life ruined because of an affair you had.
I never had an affair, Eleanor.
Excuse me?
I say this now, client to attorney. The reason I told you they'd never be able to prove my affair with Jim McNown is because it never happened. Jim McNown had his affair with Keith.
What?
My husband is gay, Eleanor. And you know the old saying, two things that'll kill a political career. Being caught with a dead woman or a live boy. Keith and Jim McNown were in that bed that night. That's why they found no semen on me. That's why they found no powder burns on Keith. And since Helen Gamble had to rule me out as a suspect in order to do the rape kit, she couldn't trace metal in my hands or test me for powder burns.
You killed him?
That information is sealed up in privilege, counselor. There's nothing you can do now but sit on it.
So, at the party,
I confronted Jim McNown with the affair. And when he said he wanted to go public with it, that's when Keith was overheard saying he wouldn't stand to be humiliated. You all were so close. Spouse comes home with daughter, finds spouse in bed with another man, snaps, shoots. You just had the wrong spouse in bed. And the wrong one with the gun.
Made a mistake. Will now serve time for that mistake. But I will come out of this stronger. My commitment to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts shall never wane. I'll pay my debt to the society I vowed to fight for, vowed to serve, and I'll be back to serve it. I felt your hearts with me during this trying time, and I won't forget your unflinching support. And my heart will stay with you. And I will be back.
You stinker!
Previously on The Practice.
I'm pregnant.
Who's the father?
Actually, I'm keeping that confidential. He's basically just a sperm donor. And I'm gonna be a single mom.
That's my rape center pager. My name's Lucy Hatcher. I'm a counselor from the Rape Crisis Center. I saw what happened to her. I freaked.
This was your very first call.
I'm just not cut out for it, Rebecca.
Without your help. Thank you.
Sure.
Get out.
What?
Go! That's my daughter.
She's suffered some pretty tough internal injuries. There's also some swelling in the brain. She's still unconscious and probably will stay that way until, well, the swelling goes down.
Hey, Beck. You're a godmother now. We just need for you to wake up.
Dr. Emmerich, 4148. Dr. Emmerich, 4148.
Hey.
Oh, my. He already looks bigger.
Yeah, he eats like a hog.
Oh, he's a gorgeous thing.
Yeah, he is. Hey, Beck. They let me in here with little Bobby.
Her neurological responses are improving. Doctor said the swelling's almost completely down.
Come on, Beck. 3 days. Enough is enough.
That is so beautiful, Michael. It's amazing. When are you publishing?
I'm hoping in June.
Is this one here? Is this going to be the cover?
Either that one or this here. This little girl.
Look at her face.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to see something really incredible, Michael? Okay, this is what I call an amazing picture. Look, that's her head and her hands. Yeah. You helped make that. Can you believe it?
Yeah. That's what I came to talk to you about, Eleanor. I'm not sure that I can stick to the deal.
What do you mean?
I want to help parent this baby. I know, the agreement, but when you asked me to be the father,
No, I asked you to be the donor.
And I thought that
And never mind the agreement. It's a contract. A signed one, Michael.
My lawyer thinks that I can probably get around that.
You've been to a lawyer?
It's one thing to... I thought that... But to have a baby...
You don't have a baby, Michael. I have a baby. You provided sperm.
I don't want her to grow up without a father.
He changed his mind?
Yes, and we have a contract, and he says he's going to try to get around it. He's already been to see a lawyer.
Okay, try to calm down a little. Who is this guy?
His name is Michael Hale. He is a very successful photographer, and he is an old friend.
Friend like friends, or...
It wasn't a romantic relationship, Lucy. His involvement here is purely genetic.
And you have a signed agreement.
Yes, fully executed, terminating all of his rights as a father, and now he wants to go to court and get it voided.
When's the hearing?
I'm not sure. I threw him out. I'm not... I don't know.
Okay. I'll see if I can get his lawyer to come here before he goes into court. Once we get a judge involved, it's complicated, Eleanor.
I can't believe he's doing this. We have a deal.
Amanda McGowan, please.
You are?
I'm Lucy Hatcher, rape crisis.
Second door on the right. The doctor's in with her.
Try to get a little rest? I'm gonna go talk to your dad. I'm sorry, who are you?
Lucy Hatcher, rape crisis.
Oh, I already did the rape kit. I need to speak to the father, then I'll be back.
Okay. Amanda, I'm Lucy Hatcher, a counselor from the rape crisis. How old are you?
11.
She's been gone for over 3 hours. They're usually back here in an hour.
Let me check. Excuse me. Could you check on the status of patient Rebecca Washington? She went down to radiology for a CAT scan several hours ago.
Several hours ago.
Yes.
Hold on. Yes, ICU patient Washington Rebecca went for a PET scan and a CAT scan at 7:30. She did? At what time? She's not in her room.
No, she isn't.
No, she isn't. Would you check with patient escorts, please? Thank you. Well, she should be up here shortly.
Well, when did she leave radiology?
Well, I'm not sure, but I'm sure she'll be back here shortly. Hold on. I see you. No, she isn't. Mm-hmm. Okay.
What's going on?
I'm gonna page the doctor.
Yes, before you do that, nurse, I want to know where Miss Washington is.
I don't know.
Oh, who does know?
I don't know.
Is she lost?
At the moment, that's a possibility.
You keep talking to me in terms of contract, but...
Because that's what we have, Michael. You and
I understand. And I fully intended to go through with it, but...
So what's changed?
What's changed is circumstances.
How? Tell me.
Before, I was thinking in terms of genetics, in terms of sperm fertilizing an egg. But when it becomes a person...
The idea was for it to become a person, Michael.
Yes, but I had no conception of how that would affect me. It will be my child.
No, it won't.
And whatever any
she
contract
will be
may
my
say...
child.
All right. Look, none of us wants to turn this into a big mess.
Well, that's exactly what your client is doing.
Eleanor, you were saying...
We're looking for paternity, then joint custody.
Absolutely not.
You
I
be
will not
primary.
raise my child in a split environment, having her pulled between two...
Look, I'm here right now trying to avoid going to court. If you're...
Then go to court, Michael, because there is no way in hell I am going to give you joint custody.
Do you want us to take a minute outside while you two discuss?
My position will not change in a minute.
Then I guess we see you next with a judge.
I'm not looking for a battle, Eleanor.
Well, you've got one, Michael.
Come on.
We may not win, Eleanor. The law on this in Massachusetts is untested.
Then we're about to test it.
Listen, I'm not necessarily saying make a deal. But if you agree to some limited custody...
I won't.
My fear is if a judge opens this thing up, there's a risk of full joint custody.
How? We have a contract.
I understand. But what if that contract doesn't hold up?
Are you suggesting, Ms. Garrett, this was not a valid contract?
I'm suggesting that there was no meeting of the minds. It's the equivalent of a mistake.
A mistake?
Yes, Mr. Hale had no idea what he was giving up.
Now, wait a second.
Your Honor, this contract violates public policy. There is no question that if my client wanted to surrender a child for adoption, he couldn't do that legally until 4 days after the child was born. And why is that? Because the law doesn't want parents signing away their rights before they know what's really at stake.
Mr. Hale always knew exactly what was at stake when...
How can you make that claim?
Because he executed a contract.
Yes, and perhaps there should be a presumption in favor of that agreement, but it can't be irrebuttable. Not when you're talking about a child. And there will be a child that this very much affects. And that's what's dawning on my client here. His daughter will come to him one day, like it or not, and she may ask why she didn't get to have a father. What is he supposed to do then? Hold up a contract?
All right. I want to hear from the parties on this.
Why?
Because if Mr. Hale is claiming no meeting of the minds, I want to explore exactly what they thought they were agreeing to. 2 o'clock.
Jimmy, please don't take this the wrong way, because I know you're here to support me, and I really appreciate it. But that was a horrible performance in there. If a contract is clear on its face, which this one is, you do not go behind it to explore the intent of the parties. There was nothing ambiguous in the language, and you should have been screaming that instead.
Eleanor, this isn't an ordinary contract.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
If you believe that, you're not thinking clearly. Now listen to me. That judge was not about to rule on the face of the language. Not when it involves a child. He's taking into account best interests. You know it as well as I do.
Fine. Then I want to go after Michael as unfit.
With what?
I'll tell you what.
We are looking into it, I assure you.
You're looking into it?
How do you lose a patient?
It's possible that she could have been brought to another patient's room who also has the name Washington. And we're checking that out now.
What are the other possibilities?
Well, she could have regained consciousness. She could be roaming around the building.
Would she be strong enough?
Well, she'd be weak, but she had no injuries that would prevent her from being ambulatory.
Hello. I'm Natalie Clarkson from Patient Relations. There's a problem?
Yes, there's a problem. You've lost my daughter.
Okay, and she was last seen where?
She was last seen unconscious.
Helene.
They've lost Rebecca, Bobby. And now they send someone from customer service? You have lost my daughter, who is in a coma.
What are you two whispering about?
There is another Washington, a Regina Washington, who is currently...
What room is she in?
Well, she's listed as being in surgery right now. She's having her kidney removed.
Hey, Luce.
Helen.
Hi, Amanda. How you doing?
I'm okay. Amanda, this is Helen Gamble. She's a district attorney. She's gonna get the guy who did this to you.
I heard you talked a little bit to the police. Can I speak to you, too? Your dad said it would be okay if I asked you some questions.
We can trust her. She's here to help.
Good news is we caught him. At least I'm pretty sure of it. What I was wondering is... I was wondering whether you'd be able to look at what we call a police lineup.
What's that?
Well, you look at 5 men standing side by side, and you point to the man who did it. If you see him.
No.
Well, Amanda...
No, I don't want to see him. Let me talk to Miss Gamble 1 second. Does she have to?
The rape kit turned up nothing. No semen, no DNA. This whole case comes down to eyewitness testimony.
So what, it would be her word against his?
No, we have another eyewitness. A woman saw it from a balcony.
Can't you just arrest on that?
Yes, but the truth is, if Amanda IDs him now in a lineup, our case gets better. And she's more likely to ID him at trial.
I don't think she's strong enough emotionally to see him. I really don't.
I'll push it through arraignment. We'll see how it goes.
Thank you.
There just wasn't any room in my life for a family. As a photojournalist, I'm always leaving for Bosnia or Vietnam, you name it. I never even considered having a child.
Until Miss Frudd asked for your help.
I knew she wanted a baby. And when she approached me to be the donor, it just felt right. And I knew how great she'd be with a child. And I thought if I could do that for her, give her that chance, how could that be wrong?
You signed an agreement
Yes.
relinquishing your rights as a father to this child.
All I can say is I made a mistake. I wanted it to work. I signed the contract thinking it would. But this isn't some abstract gift I can give. It's a child. My child, who deserves to grow up with the love of her father.
When you negotiated this agreement, did you have a lawyer?
Yes.
You intended to give up your rights to this child.
Yes, but as I said...
And now you want the court to disregard your intent.
I'm asking that my current intent be given more weight, especially since it serves the best interest of this child.
Let's consider then the interests of your son, Mr. Hale, the one who's 7 years old.
Objection.
Overruled. What son is this?
Mr. Hale, 7 years ago, a girlfriend of yours had a child.
I was young. I wasn't ready to act like a father.
But now you are.
Yes, now I am.
Are you being a father to this 7-year-old boy?
No.
Why not? You don't think he needs the love of his father?
Objection.
Overruled.
Have you even met that son, Mr. Hale?
Look, I lost the chance to know my son. I can't just walk up to a 7-year-old kid and introduce myself. But here, I have a chance to be there from the start.
Ever tell my client you could never be responsible enough to raise a child?
I once thought that, but I...
Oh, you changed your mind on that, too.
People mature, Mr. Berluti.
Is breaking a contract a sign of maturity?
Have you ever been a father, sir?
No, but you have. 7 years ago, you failed. You're still failing.
Objection.
Overruled.
And now you put this woman under stress while she's 8 months pregnant.
That's not my intent.
You know your intent?
Objection.
Withdrawn. How many months a year are you in town, Mr. Hale?
I'm willing to adjust my lifestyle to be here more.
You have a girlfriend, sir?
I do.
How old is she?
What relevance does her
The
age...
witness has suggested that he's growing up. How old is your girlfriend, sir?
She's 20.
Ever been convicted of anything?
Objection.
Whether he has a record, I think, speaks to his fitness as a parent.
I'll allow it.
Ever been convicted of anything, sir? Let's make it easy. Ever been convicted in the last year?
Yes.
Drugs?
Possession of marijuana.
Are you a pothead? sir?
No, I'm not.
But you smoke dope.
I have used it recreationally, very occasionally.
But you've probably changed your mind about that now, right?
It wasn't her. So wherever she is, she's still got both kidneys. Not a funny joke.
May I ask a question? Has this happened before?
Not often, but it has happened. We're searching radiology. After that, we're going through every floor, every room.
Who took her? Somebody had to wheel her out of the CAT scan.
Yes, the escort who was to bring Rebecca back to the ICU finished work at noon. We haven't been able to find him either. He's not at home, and he doesn't have a cell. Look, obviously, I can't excuse this. All I can say, I know she's somewhere in the building, and we'll find her.
Is nothing beneath you.
Sir, you're represented by counsel.
We have been maybe best friends most of our adult lives, and you attack me like that for what? Legal strategy?
You think that was legal strategy? I'm protecting my daughter.
Well, your turn comes next.
Case number 3216, Commonwealth versus Bruce Wilson. Rape of a minor under the age of 12.
Joshua Passman for the defense, Your Honor. We waive reading. We'd be seeking personal recognizance.
Opposed?
My client has strong roots in this community.
No job, lives in a housing project. We consider him dangerous as well as a flight risk.
Bail is denied.
Move for a probable cause.
Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock.
Your Honor, I haven't yet spoke with our witness.
Why are you filing charges? Confer with your witness, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Miss Gamble, I'm Amanda's father.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
What's gonna happen?
Well, we have a probable cause hearing, so I need to find the woman who witnessed
She's right there.
Michael and I have been friends for a long time. I chose him as a donor because I liked him, for genetic reasons, and most of all because I trusted him on his word.
But you don't want him as a co-parent.
That's why we signed this agreement.
Could you tell me your main objection?
I don't believe I need a man in my life to raise a happy, healthy daughter. There are a lot of single mothers today who are doing whatever it takes to fulfill their responsibilities as a parent. Moreover, if I were sharing those responsibilities with a man, I never would have chosen Michael Hale.
Why don't you want him to participate?
Because I'm not in love with him. And he doesn't love me. And now, I don't trust him. I got pregnant. I changed my life based on promises he broke. And if we were forced together as co-parents, our entire relationship would be grounded in betrayal. And that mistrust would most definitely harm this child.
But is it better for the child to lose contact with her father?
In this case, yes. It would be better for my daughter to have one loving parent than to be thrown into a situation that is already filled with tension and acrimony.
Are you suggesting Mr. Hale is unfit to be a father?
How can I trust him to? Look at his history. Look at how he's behaved here. This is as irresponsible as it is arbitrary. I am 8 months pregnant. I'm in court. He has put me under stress, put the baby under stress, all on his sudden whim that he wants to be involved.
Well, if you agreed to let him parent, you wouldn't be in court.
Your Honor, he may be well-intentioned, but what's his real motivation? Who's to say this isn't about guilt over abandoning a son, about redemption, about himself rather than any real desire to be a father?
So you don't need a man to help you raise a child. Are you currently with a man, Ms. Frutt?
No.
If you were currently involved with a man, would you still be having a child as a single parent?
I don't know, Miss Garrett. If I were sharing my life with a man, I would likely expect him to be a part of this decision. But I was not involved with anybody at the time that I made this contract. I was not involved with your client, nor am I involved with anybody now. I would never have chosen to have a child with him.
Ms. Frutt, if you were convinced that Mr. Hale would in fact be a model father, would you change your position?
No. Because I'm not in love with him. And I never...
I understand. But let's be fair. Then you are talking about what you want, not necessarily the best interests of the child.
I don't accept that, Your Honor. Because I don't accept your hypothetical that he could ever be a model parent.
You consider yourself an authority on parenthood?
I consider myself an authority on my child.
Are you aware of studies, including one from the U.S. Justice Department, that show children from single-parent homes are more likely to drop out of school, more likely to commit crimes?
Most of those studies are pertaining to impoverished families. I have financial means.
Yes, because you work. Plan to continue working?
Yes.
When do you plan to go back to work, Ms. Frutt?
I'm not sure.
Within 3 years?
Yes.
Are you aware of the studies showing that the child's attachment to the working mother can be significantly harmed?
I'm aware of the studies that reject that position. Some even say a child can benefit from their experiences at daycare.
Do you plan to put the child in daycare?
I will not be cross-examined on whether or
Ms.
not...
Frutt, if you go back to work full-time, you won't be the only primary caregiver. Who will help you?
I plan to hire.
You haven't yet?
No, because I haven't needed to yet.
So we don't know who this other primary caregiver will be. You just don't want it to be her father.
He is not the father. He is a sperm donor.
Okay. Are you aware of the U.S. Department of Education report that says children do better in schools when their fathers are involved?
Well, I would be very surprised if that study embraced non-resident fathers.
Well, it did, but my question was, did you even read the study?
No.
So what studies on single parenting did you rely on before deciding to become a single mother? Are you aware, for example, that single-parent children are more likely to be antisocial, more likely to suffer from anxiety, depression, hyperactivity, are more likely to need psychiatric care, are more likely to commit suicide as a teenager, more likely to drop out of school.
More likely than who? Children of married, intact parents? What about divorced parents? Are their children more
So
likely?
you are an authority. Do you know the statistics, Ms. Front?
I know all the risks, Miss Garrett.
And you simply decided to assume them on behalf of your daughter in her best interest.
Objection. This is badgering
It
now.
is no such thing. I am merely trying to ascertain whether the witness knows of these studies, knows of these statistics, as she boldly claims she knows what's best for her daughter.
I know I am not a statistic fighting to survive. I have choices. And I know my daughter would be better off without your client as a co-parent.
Because you make no room for the possibility that he can change. And you don't want to give him the chance to change, do you, Miss Frutt? Because it's not what you want. Please say it for the record. Because one day, your daughter may want to read it.
Well, hello there.
Where am I?
Not Las Vegas, tell you that.
What happened?
What happened? You need to ask what happened? You had a baby.
What do you mean I had a baby?
You had a little baby girl, 7 pounds, 2 ounces. A beautiful little baby.
What are you talking about?
Maybe you better lie back down.
No, you lie back down. I didn't have a baby. I was blown up, that's what I was.
What's wrong? Says she didn't have a baby, she was blown up.
I know how you feel. My first child until they gave me the epidural.
Didn't have a baby. What's wrong with you people? Can I get a phone? I did not have a baby.
Can we make a call for you?
Yes. Bobby Donald, 753.
I know Bobby Donald. He had a baby too.
Where the hell am I? Is this some rubber room or something? I was blown up. I didn't have a baby.
Roberta, you need to calm down.
My name is not Roberta. It's Rebecca. I was never pregnant. I didn't have a baby. I never had a baby. I don't want a baby. Can you get that through your baby happy head?
Yes, you were blown up.
This is the missing patient. Your name is Rebecca?
Yes. Single, without child.
This is the missing patient.
And after he ran off, I took her and her father to the hospital.
Are you sure about the man you saw?
Yes. He lives in the building. I know who he is.
Miss Tritter, I smell alcohol. Have you been drinking?
I've had a few beers. It's been a day.
At the time you saw the rape, were you drinking then?
2 beers.
Our probable cause hearing is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'd prefer you not drink before that.
Okay.
Dr. Lenchel, CICU. Dr. Lenchel, CICU.
Rebecca!
Mom.
Oh, are you all right?
I don't know. Everybody keeps telling me I had a baby and that Bobby had a baby. I don't know what's going on.
There was a Roberta Washington who checked out.
Rebecca, I'm Dr. Emmerich. Can I just look in your eyes for a second?
It's a miracle. I don't know what happened. I mean, I remember some explosion and then these wackos keep telling me everybody's having babies.
Like, Lindsay and I did have a baby. A little boy. Robert Gordon Donald.
You had a baby?
Yeah.
Did I?
How's it going?
Well, I'm studying up. I'll be ready.
Am I being selfish?
No. What's best for that baby?
Not him.
Then that's the answer. Period.
Thank you.
I'll be ready, Eleanor. We ain't losing this.
Okay. Okay.
And when I looked down from the window, that's when I saw him.
Him being...
That man. He was raping the girl.
Are you sure it was him?
Positive.
Thank you, Miss Tritter.
No questions.
You can step down, ma'am. Miss Gamble, it's thin, but I'm finding probable cause. Defendant is bound over for trial, and trial is scheduled for March 12th. Defendant goes back into custody. We're adjourned.
Miss Gamble? Can I talk to you?
Sure.
Will my drinking have to come up at the trial?
Yes, Miss Tritter.
You can call me Michelle.
Michelle, it will definitely come up at trial. The defendant's lawyer is going to try to discredit you with your drinking.
I seen stuff on the news about this already. I just recently met a guy, and I'm also trying to get a job, you know? If he makes me out this big alcoholic...
Listen, I won't lie to you. It'll be rough. You're basically our entire case.
What about the girl?
Well, she's not in the best emotional shape right now. I really need you, Michelle.
Okay.
There is simply no basis whatsoever for denying Michael Hale some limited custody. Every study has shown undeniably the child's psychological well-being is best served with a connection to the father. For young children, it affects cognitive development, social competence, the ability to trust. Some studies have even linked the father's involvement to a higher IQ. Paternal involvement during middle childhood has been known to have a positive effect on school success. Your Honor, these studies are as sobering as they are unanimous. Fatherless kids are more susceptible to depression, more likely to commit crimes, to drop out of school, to commit suicide, 11 times more likely to be violent, more likely to abuse drugs. Does this mean a single mother can't successfully raise a child? Of course not. It happens a lot. And to be fair, studies also show that parental conflict can have a negative impact. But the likelihood is that this child will be better off with a connection to her dad. All we're asking for is that he be allowed to be involved. With virtually every study, every child psychologist concurring that this is in the best interests of the child, how can Ms. Frutt say no? How can she not be willing to even give Michael Hale a chance? If he's willing to adjust his work, to change his lifestyle, if he's matured and he's ready to accept responsibility. Eleanor Frutt doesn't want to give him that chance because she wants to maintain complete control over that baby. And even if Michael Hale were the perfect father, she would hold fast to that position. That is a selfish position. It has absolutely nothing to do with the best interests of this baby.
Eleanor,
I want to respond.
let me.
Jimmy, I want to...
Eleanor, sit. I read all those studies. I spoke with several experts, and Ms. Garrett's right. Better the child have some connection to her father. Better he be involved in her life right from the start. That's the best case scenario. But that scenario wasn't available to Eleanor Frutt. She wasn't with a man. She decided she wanted to be a single parent. So she went to a friend and asked him to be a donor. She never would have done so had there been a condition of his parental involvement. Never. All these studies, none of them apply to this particular situation. As for the best interest of this particular child, yes, we maintain she is better off with Eleanor acting as a single parent. Better off without Mr. Hale. He failed with his son. He's never exercised any real degree of maturity or responsibility. There are plenty of studies to show the damage caused to a child when a bond is broken once a parent takes off. We maintain it's a risk letting this baby become emotionally attached to Mr. Hale. Ms. Garrett says, why not try? Let's just see. What's the harm? Well, it does do harm in failure. There are studies to show that. Eleanor Frutt is the only person who can be trusted with this child's welfare. She's the only one who's earned that trust. We don't let sperm donors from sperm banks across the country, we don't let them change their minds, start requesting DNA tests so they can track down their offspring and insert themselves into the kids' lives. He's looking for special treatment just because he knows where his sperm went. A deal was made. Michael Hale has made no demonstration with his past or present behavior that his involvement as a parent would run to the benefit of this child. Accordingly, I would ask the court not to overturn the rights of my client pursuant to this valid, legally enforceable contract.
Why can't it just be over? I want it to be over.
Honey, all they need is for you to testify as to what happened and who did it.
Please, Daddy. Look, we don't have to talk about this right now.
Hey, how's it going?
You tell us.
Could I talk to you outside for a second? All I have is an eyewitness from a considerable distance who was probably under the influence. Even with your daughter testifying, she's easily shakeable, Mr. McGowan.
What are you telling me?
It doesn't look good.
He lives in our building. You have to get him, Miss Gamble. He lives in our building. You can't lose this bastard.
It'll be tough, Mr. McGowan.
He lives in our building.
All rise. Be seated.
I've never had a case like this. There's contract law, and there's best interests of the child. As a matter of public policy, I have to give the latter more weight. Ms. Frutt, all the prevailing studies favor a child's connection with a father. While I don't doubt a single mother can successfully raise a child, I don't think single parenting gives you or your daughter an advantage. I certainly salute your resolve and fortitude. But I'm reminded of Penelope Leach's words. Why is it socially reprehensible for a man to leave a baby fatherless, but courageous or admirable for a woman to have a baby whom she knows will be so? In looking at this particular case, I don't know whether this child will be better served by Ms. Frutt acting alone or with Mr. Hale's involvement. It's crystal ball gazing, and I just don't know. And I don't like to rule on statistical probabilities. Without clear and convincing evidence, I'm going to let the contract tip the scale. I find the agreement at issue here valid. Plaintiff's legal rights as a father are thereby terminated. The request to add Mr. Hale's name to the birth certificate upon delivery is denied, and we are adjourned.
You stinker!
Previously on the practice.
We have one last pretrial where I'll try to suppress your statement. Scott, if I'm unsuccessful...
No, I'm not taking manslaughter, Bobby. Please don't ask me that again!
He's gonna walk?
I'm not saying that, but...
But what? He killed my sister. Don't tell me now that he's...
Mr. Barrett, as we have explained from the start, our case is hugely circumstantial.
You knew your sister, sir. There is no way she would ever take her own life. Not in any circumstance. She was murdered. If you know it. She did not commit suicide. You absolutely know it.
She said that if she turned up missing, that I should call the police, because Scott probably did something to her.
Objection!
You want me to sign this? An affidavit saying I coached a witness to lie?
He made that stuff up about his sister being afraid.
Helen, I told him what his testimony needed to accomplish. I never said lie.
I'm convinced that Kyle Barrett lied on the stand after being coached by the prosecution.
I don't think Mr. Bay crossed the line. I see no evidence that he solicited perjury. The conviction, therefore, stands.
Look, I'll get a new trial, right? I mean, the judge made all of those mistakes. I gotta get a new trial.
That's what we're hoping for.
I thought I was okay, but I'm feeling maybe I'm not. Just hurry.
Two years. That's it?
Yes. It's a decent plea for us. If he gets convicted, the most he'd serve is probably 3.
But I could have died, Helen.
I understand, but like you said, you didn't think he was really trying to kill you.
But he tried to hurt me.
Which is why he's about to go on trial. I'll get him, Margaret. But if we can get the plea... You don't want to be put through this. I know your husband's lawyers. They're tough.
3 years.
I am not pleading guilty.
Look, this is your wife saying you pushed her down a flight of stairs.
I didn't touch her.
The problem is victims of domestic violence can look very sympathetic.
She is not a victim.
Well, they'll make her look like one. And the jury is going to want to know, why would she lie about this?
I would like to know myself.
Robert.
What about my daughter? If I plead guilty to a crime like this, then I'll lose custody of her.
Well, that isn't necessarily true. You could get custody.
No, I didn't do it. I didn't throw my wife down a flight of stairs, and I won't say that I did. You know, I don't care what my odds are. No.
Can I have your attention, everybody? I have very exciting news. Now, it's kind of private, but I've been keeping it in for like 2 months now, and I can't anymore. I'm sorry.
What?
Well, 2 months ago, now keep in mind it is so not like me to go through waste cans, but it was a dull day, and I was in the ladies' room. Anyways, I found this pregnancy test thing, and it was positive. Now, I know it could have been anybody on this floor, but I still had a feeling. Then yesterday, a book came. And I opened it, you know, thinking it was just office supplies, books, usually library things. Unfortunately, I threw away who it was addressed to, and then the trash guy came and picked it up, and, well, whatever. What to expect when you're expecting? Somebody hears Pragos. Lindsay?
I didn't order that thing.
Oh, come on. I thought I saw a tummy.
I did not order that thing.
Lindsay, we might as well tell him.
That's great.
Thank you, Lucy, for your exciting news.
Well, I couldn't keep it from the family.
How far along? 4 months.
Who's the father?
You're funny today.
Congratulations.
Where are you at, ma'am? Ma'am?
830 Brayson! You have to hurry!
Okay, stay on the line. Just tell me what's happening. What are you doing?
My husband! 830!
What the hell are you doing? Margaret! Ma'am, are you there? Can you get back on the phone, ma'am? Hello? What's happening, ma'am? Hello?
830 Brayson. Are you familiar with that address?
Yes. After getting the radio run, I responded to that location.
And what did you find?
The front door was open. When we got inside, we found the defendant at the base of a stairwell in the foyer area. Mrs. Wakefield was lying face up wearing a nightgown, and she appeared to be unconscious. The defendant was sitting next to her, holding her head from behind.
Was there anybody else in the house?
The defendant's 9-year-old daughter. She said she was in her room and didn't see anything.
Could you describe the defendant's demeanor when you spoke to him?
He was very upset. Right away, I could smell alcohol in his breath and his eyes. They were very glassy.
What did you do next?
I called for an ambulance, and we took Mrs. Wakefield to Mass General.
Could you describe her condition?
At first, she was still unconscious, but on the way there, she started to come to. That's when she told me that her husband had pushed her.
Just to be clear, officer, could you describe Mrs. Wakefield's exact words?
He pushed me. Robert pushed me.
You said my client was upset.
Yes.
He wasn't violent.
No.
And when you got there, you saw him sitting with his wife, holding her head in his hands.
Yes.
So you cannot exclude the possibility that Mrs. Wakefield tripped on her own nightgown.
Can I positively exclude it? No, but I...
Thank you, officer. When Mrs. Wakefield was taken to the hospital, my client went with her, right?
He met us there, yeah.
And did you permit Mr. Wakefield to visit his own wife?
At that point, we didn't even know what we had.
Really? So even after Mrs. Wakefield's big statement in the ambulance, you still weren't sure a crime had been committed?
We were investigating.
You weren't sure about what she told you?
We had no reason to doubt her.
But the man she accused of pushing her, you allowed him to visit her, didn't you?
Yes.
What do you mean, spots?
I mean, spots. It's worse when I look at the light, but even when I don't, I still see spots. They're big, and then they shrink, and then when I blink, they come back. Not always, but I mean, sometimes. Sometimes I see them.
And you said they had the optometrist examine them?
He's a hack. I mean, how many kids do you know went to med school so that they could examine prisoners? I mean, the doctors in this place are all unemployable hacks. Is it fun?
Is what fun?
Well, I would think it'd be fun. You know, you must dream about big cases. And this one, a murder, your friend on the hook. I mean, I would think that this has all the stakes that any lawyer could ever wish for. And if you're not having fun now, Bobby, I mean, then what's the point? You know?
Scott, we're going to have you meet with a psychiatrist.
I was convicted, for God's sake. What, you want to have me declared incompetent to stand appeal? Oh, I mean, that's smart. Why don't you examine my eyes while you're at it? Do I get to go?
Go where?
He's losing it. We gotta get him the hell out of here.
Margaret? What's wrong?
I don't think Robert intended to push me down the stairs.
I beg your pardon?
I've been replaying this over and over again.
Have you been talking to him?
We have thought of reconciling. But this is the truth. I made a mistake.
Margaret, don't you dare do this.
Helen, at the time, I didn't know what to think. One minute we're fighting, the next I wake up in a hospital. Police officers asking me questions. No, I was angry. I think I convinced myself at the time that he did it on purpose, but he didn't. And I'm dropping the charges.
First of all, you don't get to drop the charges. Only the district attorney can do that.
But it's my choice whether to continue.
Actually, no, it's not. You chose to call 911. Now I make those decisions.
I'm not testifying, Helen.
Then I'll get a material witness order and have you arrested.
If you try to force me, I'll tell the jury I fell. This was an accident.
Oh, Margaret, I know you think you have no life without this man, but trust me.
I'm not some weak victim here. Look, we've had a complicated, volatile relationship. If you want to prosecute me for false arrest or whatever, I'll own that. But the man didn't push me down the stairs.
What happened?
My victim just recanted. That's why I prefer murders. When they're dead, they can't change their stories. What do you want?
I came to apologize. I have been a little influenced by politics of late. You were there for me when my job was in peril, and I want you to know I'm here for you now.
Is my job in peril?
Helen, they've stuck you with domestic violence. What does that tell you?
They. They being Kate Brunner.
Well, that's... She carries a lot of power. I'm told you're supplying Bobby Donnell with an affidavit.
Not that you suborned perjury, only that I thought the witness was coached and that he committed perjury.
If I can give you a little advice, I wouldn't give him that statement.
Is that why you're here, Richard? To reach out and gag a friend?
No, it really doesn't affect me.
It does your case, and therefore you with Kate Brunner. You win, she likes you. You lose, she doesn't.
And if I lose, you will get the brunt of the blame, not me.
I already gave Bobby the affidavit. But thanks for stopping by, Richard. It's been good to catch up.
You working late?
The Wallace appeal is tomorrow. Are you feeling okay?
Fine.
I'm glad it's out. It was hard for me to keep it a secret.
Bobby, I didn't take the pregnancy test here. Did you order that book?
Me? No.
That little witch tricked us. Either that or somebody else is pregnant.
You okay, Beck?
Oh, sure.
What you thinking about?
Just the case.
Miss Washington? Can I speak to you?
Well, I represent your husband.
Yes, I know. I've decided not to testify.
Oh. Well.
Actually, I do want to testify. But for Robert.
I'm not sure I understand.
Your client is innocent.
You got a problem. He's about 2 weeks away from Bridgewater. He's suffering from severe clinical depression. He needs to be hospitalized right now.
We're due in court.
Bobby, this man is not going to court. He's in the middle of what's called a situational mental breakdown, most likely caused by twin positional traumas, the death of his wife and the conviction. The spots, the inability to sleep. The man is on the verge of a psychotic breakdown. He needs to be transferred to a mental facility right now.
Eugene, go to Wolf, file a motion that he be transferred to the hospital jail ward. I'll handle the appeals court myself.
I'll need your affidavit. Can you agree to supervise at the hospital?
Absolutely. You've got to get him out of prison.
Let's go.
He had me by the shoulders. I can remember his face being right there in front of me. I had never heard him scream like that.
What were you fighting about?
The same thing as always. He wouldn't stop drinking. It was getting worse since the wedding.
Did you tell him you were worried?
I tried. But when Robert's like that, you can't tell him anything.
What was he saying?
It was my fault. He had to drink because I was making him miserable. He was yelling and shaking me. That's when I got scared. I waited till he left the room and called 911.
Tell the jury why you called the police.
I never wanted to have him arrested. I thought they could just get him out of the house. Hold him, maybe, until he was sober again.
But then he heard you on the phone.
He came up behind me and ripped the phone out of my hand. That's why I was screaming on the tape. I was scared, so I ran. When I got to the stairs, I was going too fast. All I remember is falling and waking up at the hospital.
Mrs. Wakefield, I want to be clear. Did Robert push you down those stairs?
No. We were fighting, but he didn't hurt me. I tripped and I fell.
But that's not what you told the police.
I was angry. They were trying to get me to say what they wanted, and I wanted to punish him.
We were at the top of the staircase. Robert had me by the hair. I begged him to let me go, and then he pushed me from behind. Isn't that what you said in the hospital?
I didn't really have time to think about things.
Have you and your husband talked about reconciling?
Yes.
When did you have these talks?
A few days ago.
Look at your face, Margaret.
Look, I'm not saying that I didn't fall down the stairs. I'm not saying that it didn't happen as a result of an argument and scuffle with Robert. What I am finally admitting to...
You've answered my question.
No, I haven't.
Ask that the witness be instructed.
You are trying to make it seem like he's controlling me.
The witness may answer the question.
What I am finally admitting to is that he didn't intend for me to fall. I know that disturbs your case, but like it or not, it's the truth.
I would like to focus the court's attention on our first issue for appeal. which is the trial court's refusal to conduct an evidentiary hearing concerning the charge of perjury by a material witness and the prosecution's role in suborning that perjury. Attached to our supplemental brief is the sworn affidavit of District Attorney Helen Gamble, who was present when Mr. Bay encouraged the witness, Kyle Barrett.
It alleges he coached the witness, but doesn't go so far as to state he suborned perjury.
It says he supplied testimony which was new and different from any prior statement given by this witness. That, to me, implies perjury. And a reading of Miss Gamble's affidavit reveals that she, too, drew that inference.
Mr. Bay, I assume you take issue with this allegation.
I'm offended by it. I certainly expressed to the witness the need for his testimony to be compelling. I never remotely asked him to lie.
What about the idea that you supplied the testimony?
I gave him a list of points we needed to cover. I told him what was most relevant, what needed to be emphasized. The idea that I encouraged false testimony is preposterous. It's a desperate ploy by a defense team that's even arguing its own inadequacy, if you look at paragraph 6.
I haven't got to that yet.
Your Honors, this is the catch-all inadequacy of counsel appeal that's typically thrown out there when the defendants have little else to go on. The fact remains, Scott Wallace is an educated man. He participated in his defense fully. This was a strategic decision to which he relented. It does not rise to a denial of his right to testify.
It's unfair surprise.
I didn't know about it myself. I just uncovered.
That doesn't matter. At this point in the trial...
Look, I'll give you time if you want discovery.
I don't want time.
Hold on. These are records of her injuries?
No, Your Honor. His previous wife. There are also medical records of 3 injuries to the daughter. A broken arm, a shoulder bruise, and a laceration.
Over a period of...
11 years total.
First of all, there is no evidence or suggestion that my client caused these injuries.
Was Mr. Wakefield ever accused of any abuse?
No, but with this pattern, he probably should have been.
Do you have any evidence that he caused them?
No, but...
Denied. You know better than that.
Your Honor.
Out you go. I'll see you back in court.
Did you hit your first wife?
What?
They dug up hospital reports, and some on Jennifer, too.
No, they're saying that I hit them?
Well, luckily, they don't get to say it. But my question is, did you?
Of course not. Rebecca.
How'd she get her injuries?
What injuries?
Bruises, cuts. Jennifer had a broken arm.
She fell off of her bike. Joanne, she rode horses. She jumped. She had a couple of accidents, maybe. What the hell is this? Is this what happens now? They start manufacturing things?
Seems like a lot of accidents, Robert.
Hey, I've had my share of yelling arguments. I've even grabbed from time to time both Joanne and Margaret, but I have never, ever hit a woman. And my daughter.
I don't think it's wise for you to testify. I suggest we rest and go to closing.
And why is that?
Because Helen Gamble could backdoor that other stuff on impeachment and it wouldn't look good. Trust me.
Do I need another lawyer here?
I'll finish.
I don't want you finishing unless you believe me. Do I need a new lawyer?
I'll finish.
I'm telling you, Eleanor, I know this woman. She's covering for him. I know her.
At the risk of getting my head bitten off, ground into wheat germ, and sprinkled on your cereal, I know you.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you are under a lot of pressure at work. Have you considered the possibility that you need this conviction so badly you are willing to chase one even in the absence of a crime?
Look, after what I did on the Wallace case, how could you even say that to me?
I believe you believe he's guilty. My question is, do you need to believe it? The only eyewitness is the victim, and she says there was no crime.
Is she the only eyewitness? Jennifer? Hi. Are you Jennifer Wakefield?
Who are you?
My name's Helen Gamble. I'm a district attorney. Could I talk to you for a second?
I know who you are.
Donald Young, whatever. Yeah, he's right here. It's the clerk's office about the Wallace appeal.
Hello. Yes. Today? Thank you.
What?
They ordered a full hearing on the perjury issue. We go back into Judge Wolf today. That's our best grounds, Eugene. We have a shot.
I don't believe it.
We're back in this.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Eugene, it's our best grounds. We're gonna get him out.
Bobby, we can't get Scott's hopes up. Not yet.
They turned us down on 3 issues. But on the perjury, we get a full hearing.
This is good?
Well, we were hoping they'd order a new trial outright. We didn't get that. But with a hearing, if the judge determines that the brother did commit perjury, then we get a new trial. Unfortunately, we go before the same judge we had at trial.
Wolf?
Yes, but...
I said no toast! No toast.
Scott, you need to rest. The doctor says that you're suffering from clinical depression. Karen dying, the conviction. You need to rest. Take your medication, and we'll do what we need to do.
Spots are going away. I'm doing better, Bobby. Yeah, I'm not seeing the spots.
This is great.
You'll come back and see me after the hearing?
I promise.
She is a witness. I have a right to question any witness.
I filed my appearance with the court indicating I represent the entire family.
Which is a potential conflict of interest.
You take that up here, not on a playground.
You went to the school?
Yes.
What the hell is wrong with you?
What's wrong is I think this girl may have seen or heard something that night.
Then your course of action was to get a material witness warrant.
Oh, Your Honor, under the circumstances...
There are rules barring contact with represented parties that especially apply to prosecutors, Ms. Gamble. She's 9 years old.
I believe the witness is under the control of the defendant.
You have been running about, making accusation after accusation with nothing to support it.
That's why I went to ask questions.
Well, you went about it the wrong way. You are restrained from going near the girl. You're lucky I don't report you to the bar.
Your Honor, if...
That is all.
Do I have to do anything?
No, I promise. We just want you to be there. It would be good for the jury to see you all as a family, that's all.
Okay.
Jenny, could you go out for a second? I'd like to talk to Miss Washington.
I'll take her.
Thank you.
Come on, hon.
Is this really necessary?
I wouldn't ask for it if I didn't need to. Look, we stand a very good chance of an acquittal here. Why risk it?
The risk is her being traumatized. She's got to sit and listen to accusations that her father threw her stepmother down the stairs.
Again, I'm trying to avoid a conviction.
All right, Mr. Donald. Call your first witness.
The defense calls Helen Gamble.
Offer of proof?
Ms. Gamble was there in the room with Barrett and Mr. Bay. She was the lead DA.
What's she gonna say that's not in her affidavit?
Well, she will confirm all the allegations made in her affidavit.
She doesn't need to. I've heard them. Call your next witness.
What about the Commonwealth's right to cross-examine this witness?
Mr. Bay?
think the court can take judicial notice we dispute Miss Gamble's claims.
The Court of Appeals ordered a full evidentiary hearing on this issue.
I will enter her affidavit into evidence. Call your next witness, please.
I object to this.
If you have any other witnesses, you better call them. Otherwise, this evidentiary hearing is over.
The defense objects to the court acting out of ego. The defense wants it noted for the record that the trial court judge is angered by the fact that the appeals court ruled he was in error. And the defense wants its objection noted for the record that the trial court judge is not complying with the order of the appeals court.
I will repeat. Call your next witness or the hearing is over.
My next witness, Kyle Barrett, hasn't arrived yet.
We'll adjourn until he does. 1 hour.
So we have a crime where the victim says it didn't happen. Now, did she once claim it did? Yes. But as she explained, she was confused and angry, and she lashed out. And all those statements came when she was emotionally unsteady, as she told you. But now she's admitting the truth. It never happened. All those prior statements she made up. We don't just have reasonable doubt as to his guilt here. We have proof of his innocence. She finally let go of her rage and let the truth come out. If only we could get a zealous district attorney to do the same.
Yes, that's the only reason we're here. Because I'm an angry, overzealous district attorney who cannot let go of her rage. Do you really believe that? Nothing to do with the fact that an unconscious woman was rushed to the hospital. Let's just forget the 911 call where the victim was screaming while the defendant pursued her. This isn't the day after, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the week after. These charges were filed 6 months ago. Margaret Wakefield has stuck to her story since last spring. It's only after she and her husband talked 2 days ago about reconciling that she suddenly rises up and says, "Gee, I think I was mistaken. It must have been an accident." Do you really believe that? I'm sure Margaret Wakefield is a little frightened. Her husband, Robert, supported her. He's the father of her He's the father of her stepdaughter. She's suddenly faced with losing everything, and she thinks, maybe we can work it out. They talk about reconciling, and suddenly, poof, it's an accident. He threw her down the stairs. Can't be erased. Even at the victim's own request. It happened. And it will probably happen again. You heard that tape. You heard those statements to the police, to the hospital. Robert did it. Robert pushed me. She can say whatever she wants to now. But she didn't take an oath to uphold the law. The 12 of you did.
Could you please state your name and address for the record, sir?
Kyle Barrett, 1505 North Street, Walpole, Massachusetts.
Mr. Barrett, you are the brother of Karen Wallace, is that correct?
Was the brother, until your client killed her.
Mr. Barrett, in preparation for your testimony at Scott Wallace's trial, you had a meeting with Richard Bay and Helen Gamble, did you not?
On the advice of counsel, I'm exercising my Fifth Amendment right not to answer your question.
Excuse me?
Your Honor, I'm Matthew Stone, Mr. Barrett's attorney. Though my client maintains his complete innocence with respect to any allegation of perjury, given Helen Gamble's beliefs, I have to advise him not to answer these questions.
Your client is not on trial here, Mr. Stone.
Understood, but with the possibility that charges could file, he has a Fifth Amendment right, and it would be foolish for him not to exercise it.
You have to grant him immunity. It's the only way you can force him.
You can forget that. If this man committed perjury in a first-degree murder trial, I am not going to offer up immunity like a stick of gum.
I have to be allowed to question him.
I can't force him to waive his Fifth Amendment right.
We're being denied our evidentiary hearing.
Hey, why don't you supply me with some precedent where I get to take away his right not to incriminate himself, and I'll be glad to accommodate you. Is it your client's intent to take the Fifth on every question he's asked?
Yes, Your Honor.
Everybody get out. I'm going to take 10 minutes to think about this, then we'll reconvene. Out!
I thought you quit.
I'm not supposed to talk to you, Helen.
You seem to be doing a lot of things you're not supposed to do, Margaret. You know, I couldn't figure it out. Then finally it hit me. You're not going back to Robert because you love him. You're doing it to protect Jennifer because it's the only way you can.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Reason you're so horrified that he'd only get 3 years in prison is because when he got out, Jennifer would only be 12, and you're worried he'd get custody again. Faced with that, you decide to reconcile so you can always be there to protect her. Margaret, he might not get custody under the law.
I know the presumption, but there's a good chance he would. And then what?
What happens the next time he pushes you down the stairs?
Honey? Everything okay?
Everything's just swell, Mr. Wakefield.
Come on.
All rise. Be seated.
I have been ordered by the Court of Appeals to conduct a full hearing into this perjury business. That hearing has been thwarted by the primary witness exercising his Fifth Amendment right not to testify. The conviction of Scott Wallace is hereby set aside. It is the order of this court that he be granted a new trial. Adjourned.
We fully intend to retry him. This man committed murder, and the district attorney's office will pursue him until his home in prison becomes permanent.
Were you surprised by the ruling?
Shocked is more like it, and outraged. Judge Wolf certainly acted within his discretion, but the reality here is a killer could get back on the street. And I find that horrifying.
What will Helen Gamble's role be in the next trial?
I will be prosecuting. I'll be in charge.
Look at him. Every time he loses, he shrinks an inch.
Amazing. They do it all over again now.
It's amazing. Is it exciting?
New trials?
Being pregnant.
Oh. Yeah, it's really amazing. You think Rebecca is?
I doubt it.
Well,
The book, the tests, it's kind of an elaborate scam, even for Lucy.
Yeah, but between you and me, I don't think Rebecca's really pregnant. And I don't think Lucy's playing any trick.
Then how did that book get here?
I ordered it.
Why?
Because I'm pregnant.
So I'm not convicted anymore. I mean, I'm not convicted.
No. The verdict is out.
Do we do it again?
We do it all over again. And this time, we're gonna win.
Okay. These drugs make me weak.
They're to help you rest. You just get better now, okay, buddy?
Okay.
You get better. Next time, we win. We win.
The defendant will please rise. Madam Foreperson, the jury has reached its unanimous verdict.
We have, Your Honor.
What say you?
Commonwealth versus Robert Wakefield. On the charge of assault and battery with intent to cause serious physical injury, we find the defendant, Robert Wakefield, not guilty.
Members of the jury, this completes your service. You're dismissed with the thanks of the court. The defendant is free to go. This matter is adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
You stink.